In earlier lectures, we discussed about the types of models, quantitative models and qualitative models. Quantitative models are classified into two-part linear models, and if we write in the form of a matrix notation, we call them as a general linear model, and another is a regression model. Similarly, there are two qualitative models. One is a design model, and second one is a component of variances model. So, as we discussed that linear models provide the basic theory for various statistical techniques which has been discussed in the literature. So now we will focus on the our first half of the syllabus of linear models and regression analysis, that is the general linear models. So general linear model, we call them as a GLM. The general linear model that we consider is assumed to be y is equal to x beta plus epsilon. We call them as equation 2.1, where y is nothing but is a vector of an element y1, y2, yn. X is a order of n cross p. It has the element x11 up to x1p, x21, x22 up to x2p. Likewise, xn1, xn2, xnp. This is a matrix having element np elements. So it is order of n cross p. Beta is nothing but it is a vector of p element beta 1, beta 2 to beta p, and epsilon is nothing but it is a vector of n elements epsilon 1, epsilon 2, epsilon n. It is a vector of error. So the model is written as y is equal to x beta plus epsilon, where y, x, and beta and epsilon are defined like that. Y is a vector of n observations. Beta is a vector of p parameters. Epsilon is a vector of random errors. And x is a design matter. X is a design matter. Both X and beta are fixed. So in linear models, X is fixed, beta is, of course, it is a vector of parameter, so it is also a fixed. X is observed and hence non. Hence non. So X is observed, hence non, and beta is unknown. Why beta is unknown? Because beta is a vector of parameters, and we know that parameters are unknown. So beta is unknown. Further, we assume that we will define assumption on epsilon, that expectation of epsilon is 0 and variance of epsilon is equal to sigma square in. So in that way, if you can write variance of epsilon, okay, so that is nothing but variance of epsilon 1, epsilon 2 up to epsilon n is a sigma square in. That means it is a identity matrix of order n. So you can see that all diagonal values are 1 and off diagonal values are 0. That is the covariance between epsilon 1 and epsilon 2. So these are nothing but actually a epsilon 1, epsilon 2, epsilon n. This is also epsilon 1, epsilon 2, epsilon n. So it is saying that covariance between epsilon 1 epsilon, that is called variance of epsilon 1, so that is sigma square into 1, that is sigma square. But covariance between epsilon 1 and epsilon 2 is 0. So it is saying that epsilons are independent and has the constant variance. That is epsilon 1, epsilon 2, epsilon n has constant. If we are writing that it's epsilon sigma epsilon square, so it is a constant variance sigma epsilon square. Sometimes you write sigma square, there is no issue, but they are uncorrelated. Who are uncorrelated? Epsilons are. Okay, so epsilons has the constant variance and they are uncorrelated. Of course, sigma square is unknown, where sigma epsilon square is unknown. So in fact, how many parameters you have in this models? So x1, x2, xp has the p coefficients, so they are unknown to us, and the sigma epsilon square. So total we have how many unknown parameters in our models? P plus 1. So if you write the equation 2.1 in this structure by giving that y, x, beta and epsilon has this form, y is observed, it is a vector of n observation, x is a matrix of fixed but non-value, beta is a vector of p elements but they are unknown, and epsilon epsilon 2 up to epsilon n are nothing but it is a vector of n observation. They are random, which has the mean is 0 and variance is sigma square in. So when you say that the mean is 0, that means each and every component of epsilon is 0. That means epsilon mean of epsilon 1 is 0, epsilon 2 is 0 up to epsilon n is 0. And it has the constant variance sigma epsilon square. But because variance of epsilon is sigma epsilon square in, so we can see that the off diagonal values are 0. It is suggesting that the epsilon covariance between epsilon 1 and epsilon 2, epsilon 1 and epsilon 3 up to epsilon n is 0. So it is saying that the all epsilons are uncorrelated but having a constant variance, but sigma square is unknown. So what is the actually objective of linear models? So our objective is to estimate. So there are two type of estimate. One is a point estimate and second one is a interval estimate. Estimate, that is which estimate? Point estimate, and second interval estimate. इंटरवल एस्टिमेट ऑफ अननोन, इसका एस्टिमेट ढूंढते हैं. ऑफ कोर्स इट इज ए parameters estimate. So it is a point estimate as well as interval estimate of unknown parameters. What are the parameters? This is the beta 1, beta 2 up to beta p. Suppose if you are in that position to obtain the estimate of beta 1, beta 2, beta p. So we are interested to obtain the point estimate as well as interval estimate of unknown parameters beta 1, beta 2, beta p if possible. अगर आप कर सकते हैं तो. Suppose if you are not in that position to obtain the estimate of these parameters, so what happen? Then, or at least to estimate those linear combinations of the parameters which are estimable. So, or at least to estimate those linear combination of the parameters which are estimable. We also wish to estimate sigma square. Okay. Another objective is to test suitable hypothesis to test suitable hypothesis for beta or at least some function of beta. Okay, so what is our objective in a general linear model? So our objective is that to estimate the parameters of unknown, or to estimate the to obtain the estimate of unknown parameters beta 1, beta 2, beta p, if you can obtain uniquely. That means you are interested to obtain the point estimate, and second one is the interval estimate. Point estimate means you can have get the only one estimated value of the parameter. Interval estimate, it is giving the range of estimate. So usually we say that 95% confidence interval of estimate, it is usually giving the interval estimate of a parameter if possible. And suppose if we are failed to obtain unique estimate of the parameters beta 1, beta 2, beta p, so the next question is, can we obtain at least to obtain the estimate of those linear combination of parameters which are estimable? So we try to have some linear combination of parameters beta 1, beta 2, beta p, and we try to estimate those linear combination if we are not in that position to obtain individual estimate of the parameters. So we know that one more parameters we have, that is the sigma square. So we also wish to estimate the sigma square. So once the estimation part is over, what is our next task? Our next task is to perform the suitable test of hypothesis about the beta or some linear function of a beta. Okay. So if you see that when we define the linear models, we have not make any distributional assumption on the epsilon. We simply said that epsilon has the mean, zero, and variance of epsilon is sigma square in. It means that whenever we are obtaining the estimate of the parameters, we do not require any distributional assumption. The distributional assumption is required when we go for the second objective, that epsilon obtain the test of hypothesis for the estimate of parameters, test of hypothesis about the beta or some linear function of a beta. So any questions up to this? तो एक नोट करके लिखो, not but it is a just to help you. A linear combination of rows of x is nothing but is row vector. So linear combination of rows of x will give you the rows vector, that is beta dash a1 x1 dash plus a2 x2 dash plus an xn dash. We know that how many rows we have, n rows of a x matrix. You can see here, this is nothing but the first row, this is the second row, up to this is the nth row. So you can also write this x as x1 dash x2 dash up to xn dash. And if you are writing in the form of column, it is a x1 x2 xp. Okay, so that is what we are writing. It is nothing but a1 a2 an. It is a x1 transpose x2 transpose Xn transpose okay, so that can be written as a dash x. So this you have to remember. Why? Because it will help you when we talk about the whether the linear parametric function are estimable or not. So we will obtain the certain necessary and sufficient condition. So here what is saying that a linear combination of rows of x is itself is a row vector. That means beta transpose is nothing but a dash x. Second is that linear combination of column vector. You must have studied in matrix algebra. It is just a revision. The linear combination of columns of x is a column vector. So linear combination of columns of x is a column vector. So that is M is a column vector. It is a L1 x L1 x1 plus L2 x2 plus up to LP xp. So that is written as x1 x2 xp into L1 L2 LP is nothing but XL. Just to remember, whenever you are finding the linear combination of columns of X, so it is always written as a XL and it is giving the column vector. Whenever you are finding the linear combination of rows of X, it can be written as a dash X and it is giving the row vector. Just note is over here. Usually, in the linear model, number of observations number of observations, so that is n, are always greater than or equal to number of parameters. So we have a number of parameters. That means we are associated with the number of coefficients of the x1, x2, xp. So how many? So there are p. So this should be always there. When you talk about the linear models, number of observations should be always larger than or equal to the number of variables in the models. That is rank of x is r, and that is minimum of n and p. So we know that the rank of any matrices is always less than or equal to the number of rows and number of columns, their minimum value. So let us say we said that rank of x is r, and r is nothing but it is a minimum of n and p. If r is equal to p, So which is less than or equal to n. As I said, that number of observation is larger than the number of parameters. Then model 2.1, whichever you define y is equal to x beta plus epsilon, is known as full rank model. Why full rank model? Because the rank of x is p. It means that all the columns of matrix X. How many columns in the X matrix? There are p columns. This is x1, 2, 3 up to p. So if the rank of X is p, okay, it means that all the columns are independent to each other, and the rank is said to be a full rank. So that's why the model is said to be a full rank model. So somebody say that what do you mean by the full rank model? So you have to define the general linear models y is equal to x beta plus epsilon, where y is observed, x is of order n cross p, beta is a vector of unknown parameters, epsilon is a vector of random vectors of unknown quantity whose mean is 0, and variance of epsilon sigma, where in, if the rank of x is equal to r is equal to p, which is less than or equal to n, then the model defined is known as a full rank model. And if it is less than p, otherwise it described as non-full rank model. Described as non-full rank model. Okay, so if the rank of matrix X is equal to R and R is equal to P, that means rank is full, then we say that whatever the general linear models we have defined, it is called the full rank model. Otherwise, it is called the non-full rank models. So after defining the full rank models and non-full rank models, we will focus on the objective of a general linear models. And what are the objective? The first objective is that to estimate the unknown parameters of the models. So we'll focus on that in order to estimate beta. We need to obtain beta cap, which is function of y and other known quantities. So whenever you wish to obtain the estimate of beta, we call them as a beta cap. So which is nothing but it is a function of y and some other quantities. So which quantities? Quantities like x, such that beta cap is close to beta in some sense. Okay. So how to obtain the estimate of parameters? We have to obtain the estimate of parameters, say beta cap of beta, which is nothing but it is a some linear function of y and other quantities like x, such that the beta cap is very close to beta. That means there should be a very less errors between the beta cap and beta. The difference between the beta cap and beta is very small. So you have to apply the such method so that whatever you apply, get the value of beta cap of a beta, it is very close to the beta. So in that case, if we substitute beta cap for beta in 2.1, y will be very close to x beta cap. Why? Because our model is y is equal to x beta plus epsilon. But when we obtain the estimate of parameters, okay, when we substitute the beta cap for beta, then y is very close to x beta cap. The difference between so what is the difference between observed value? So we know that observed value of y is nothing but y, and what is the estimated value? The estimated value of y is nothing but x beta cap. The difference between y or the difference y minus x beta cap, or you can say that the observed value minus predicted value or estimated value is defined as epsilon e. It is a vector of residuals. The difference y minus x beta is e is called vector of residuals, while the difference observed value minus true value. So because this is y is observed, x beta is a true value, because when we substitute the beta, so we get the exact information. So that is how it is true value. So the difference y is equal to x beta, we call as a epsilon. Just you take x beta in the left side, you will get the epsilon, is called vector of error. Sometimes people are saying that this is a true value. Sometimes they are saying it is a model value. Okay. So y is observed. This is true or model value. Here people are saying that this is the estimated value of y, estimated value or predicted value. So in short, the difference between the observed and estimated is called residuals, and the difference between the observed and the model value or the true value is called the errors. So because as I said that the errors are unknown to us, so we estimate this error by the residual. So what is the estimate of error? So we said that residual is the estimate of the errors. So now the question is that how to obtain the estimates of parameters. So there are several methods discussed in literature to obtain estimates of parameters beta, but we will describe following two methods. One is least square method. Sometimes people call them as a ordinary least square method, and that is it is also known as the OLS method. Here we write in a LS method. LS means least square method. Second one is maximum likelihood method. We call them as a ML method. So we will describe these two methods. So first we talk about the OLS method. Okay. So how to obtain the estimate of the parameters? As I said that we wish to estimate the parameters in such a way that the estimated value is very close to the true value. That means beta cap is very close to beta in a some sense. So now choosing beta is to minimize the sum of squares, that is SS, sum of squares of elements of E, that is SS due to residuals. We call them as a SS residuals. Sometimes it is known as a SS due to error. Okay. So what the method is saying, that the method itself name is least square. That means least means minimize, minimization. Square. So we wish to minimize the square of elements of E. That is the we wish to minimize the sum of square due to residuals, or you can say that we wish to minimize the sum of square due to errors. So this method is known as least square method. Okay. So it means that I have to minimize E dash E. E dash E is giving the summation EI square, that is summation I running from 1 to n EI square, that is sum of square due to residuals. So what is E? So E is nothing but y minus x beta cap transpose y minus x beta cap. Why? Because we know that E is equal to y minus x beta cap. It is a residual vector, and that is defined by y minus x beta base. So it means that I wish to minimize E transpose E. So to obtain beta cap, so how will you minimize this quantity? Anyone suggest me which method or how to minimize this quantity? To obtain beta cap using method of least square, so we know that to obtain anything is a minimum or maximum, we differentiate with respect to parameters beta equated to 0, and then we obtain the second derivative. If the second derivative is x greater than 0, then we say it is a giving the minimum or maximum. It is giving the minimum. And second derivative is less than 0, we say it is giving the maximum. But here we first obtain the first derivative of this quadratic form and then equate it to 0, and we will get the normal equation, and by other way we will show that the actually beta cap is minimizing the residual sum of square. To obtain beta cap using method of least squares, differentiate E transpose E. What is E transpose E? Y minus x beta cap transpose y minus x beta cap. So if you simplify this, what will you get? This y transpose multiply with this y, it is a y transpose y minus. This is a x beta cap transpose, or you can say that y transpose multiply with this, so it is a y transpose x beta cap. Now this quantity multiply with this, so it is a minus x beta transpose. So that is, I can write beta cap transpose x transpose, and this is the y. And now this x beta cap transpose multiply with this, so of course if you take the transpose, the signs are minus minus plus, so it is a beta cap transpose x transpose, and this is a x beta cap. Now what is the order of y? It is n cross 1. So what is the transpose order? It is a 1 cross n. This is a x having a n cross p, and beta cap having a p cross 1. So that is, it is a 1 cross 1. It is a scalar. Similarly here it is a 1 cross p, x transpose order having a p cross n, and y having a 1 n cross 1. So again it is a scalar. So it means that this, both the quantity are the same. If you take the transpose of this, you will get this. If you take transpose of this, you will get this. That means both are the scalar, so I can write it as a y transpose y minus 2 times beta cap transpose x transpose y plus beta cap transpose x transpose x beta cap. So this is my E transpose is, which I wish to minimize. So how to minimize? Differentiate. Sorry, it is the equation number I can give. What is the equation I have given? 2.2 is given, so I can give it as a 2.3. Differentiate 2.3 with respect to elements of beta and equate with 0. We get, so what will you get? You just take the derivative of, partial derivative of E transpose E with respect to beta cap. I will write in a new slide. So we know that what is the E transpose E? E transpose E with us, that is a y transpose y minus twice of beta cap transpose x transpose y plus beta cap transpose x transpose x beta cap. Okay, so I wish to differentiate with respect to beta cap or element of beta cap. It is as good as the differentiate of this quantity y transpose y minus twice of beta cap x transpose y plus beta cap transpose x beta cap. Okay, and then you have to equate it to 0, which implies what is the derivative of y transpose y with respect to beta cap? Because there is no beta cap here, so it is a constant, so derivative of constant is 0 minus this is a twice of this, so what will you get when you take the derivative of x transpose a with respect to x? You will get the a, and when you get the derivative of a transpose x with respect to x, you will get the a transpose. So here you can say that if you say this is the your beta cap transpose with respect to beta and this is this, so you will get according to this, it is a twice of x transpose y. Okay, and this is nothing but the, if you have the derivative like that, x transpose a x, a is a matrix. Okay, with respect to x, so you will get it is a 2 times ax. Okay, so here we will write the same things. If I'm saying this is a and this is x transpose, this is x, and if I'm taking with respect to x, so it is a 2x. So here I am taking derivative with respect to beta, so it is a twice of a की जगह पे अपना क्या है x transpose x, this is the beta cap. Okay, and that is equated to 0. So which implies you can write 2 times x transpose y is equal to twice of x transpose x beta cap. So this 2 will be cancelled out. So you will get x transpose y is equal to x transpose x beta cap, and see it is equation 2.4. So equation 2.4 is also, sometimes people are right, it is a q. Q is equal to s beta cap. 2.5, where q is equal to x transpose y and s is equal to x transpose x. Okay, so equation 2.4 or 2.5 is said to be a normal equation. नॉर्मल इक्वेशन मतलब यहाँ नॉर्मल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन का बात नहीं हो रहा है, ये जो फॉर्म है उसको कहते हैं नॉर्मल इक्वेशन. In operation research you may study it is a canonical form, ax equal to b. Okay, so because this is a column vector, this is the matrix and this is the column, so it is a canonical form. And of course you can obtain the estimate of this, how? By finding the inverse of the x dash x. The equations given in two point four or 2.5 are known as normal equations. Are known as normal equations, and where q in equation 2.5 is said to be left hand side of normal equation, because q is in the left hand side of q equal to s beta cap, so it is said to be left hand side of normal equation, and s beta cap is in right side, so it is s beta cap is r, said to be right hand side of normal equation. Right hand sides of normal equations, where s is equal to x dash x and is symmetric. So if you find out the S transpose, what will you get? You will get again the X transpose X. So X transpose S is nothing but S. So S transpose S equal to S. Why symmetric? Because S transpose equal to X transpose X transpose is equal to X transpose X, and it is X. So S is symmetric. Okay. So not. We know that rank of X transpose X is nothing but rank of X. तो ये हम जानते हैं कि rank of X, whatever you obtain, it is nothing but the rank of X transpose S. That means X dash X, that is X dash X and X have same deficiency of matrix. Okay, this is theorem you proved in the matrix algebra, so we will not discuss about that, but we will use it. Okay. We'll prove one theorem because that theorem will be helpful us to find out the estimate of beta cap. So state and prove necessary and sufficient condition for solution exists. Okay, why we require this theorem? Because we have this set of normal equation. X dash y is equal to x dash x beta cap. But I am interested to find out the beta cap because beta cap is a solution of this equation. So when I can find the solution equation, what is the necessary and condition? So that is what I am trying to prove here. So statement है, a necessary and sufficient condition necessary and sufficient condition for solution exists. Solution to x dash y is equal to x dash x beta cap exists is rank of x dash x augmented x dash y is nothing but rank of x dash x. So this is 2.6 equation. So I have to show that the rank of x dash x is same as the rank of augmented matrix x dash x with augmented vector x dash y. Okay. So how to prove? It's very simple. We know that since addition of two matrices or vectors cannot decrease or may not increase the rank of matrices. तो ये हम जानते हैं इफ यू ऐड एनी वेक्टर्स और टू मैट्राइसेस तो उसकी रैंक क्या होगा वो कभी कम नहीं होगी मे बी इंक्रीज may not नहीं may increase cannot decrease may increase so तो रैंक ऑफ x dash x मेरे पास था उसमें मैंने क्या किया आई हैव ऑगमेंटेड द मैट्रिक्स x dash y ठीक है so which is always less than or equal to rank of original matrix. This is equation 2.7. But we know that rank of product of two matrices rank of product of two matrices is always less than or equal to rank of any one of them rank of any one of them. So let us say if I am finding the rank of x transpose y if I am taking and that if I am taking the x transpose outside so it is a rank of x transpose to x transpose y xy. So this is one matrix, this is the another matrices and which is as it is saying that this is the rank of less than of any one of the matrices. So I am saying it is a rank of x transpose और हम जानते हैं rank of x is equal to rank of x transpose is nothing but rank of x transpose x. So actually these two are equivalent. So this sign is of course the less than is or equal to continuous. Okay, so this is equation 2.8. So you can see that the equation 2.7 is saying that rank of x dash x comma x dash y is greater than or equal to rank of x dash x. 2.8 is saying rank of x dash x comma x dash y is less than or equal to rank of x dash x. So from equation 2.7 and 2.8, we can say that rank of x transpose x augmented x transpose y is nothing but rank of x transpose x, क्योंकि ये जो है वो एक ही चीज है. You can also write this as a rank of x transpose x. augment करना मतलब आप उसमें ऐड कर रहे हैं. Okay, so it is nothing but the, so hence the proof. So it means that if I wish to find out the solution, I have to find out the rank of x dash x. Based on the rank of x dash x, I can obtain the solution of a normal equation. ठीक है, तो वो थियरम वहां पे पूरा हो खत्म हो गया. तो हम बात कर रहे थे, we are talking about the solution of the normal equation x dash y is equal to x dash x beta cap. So let beta cap be any particular solution of equation. Let, तो solution exist है, तो हम कहते हैं हाँ है, तो क्या है, तो let beta cap be any particular solution to normal equation. नॉर्मल इक्वेशन का नंबर क्या है, 2.5. ओके, 2.5, 2.4, whatever you can take. Let us take 2.4. इक्वेशन 2.4 वो क्या है, that is x dash y is equal to x dash x beta cap. So this is my normal equation, and I am saying that beta cap be any solution of this normal equation, any particular solution. We will prove that beta cap actual minimizes sum of squares of elements of E. अभी हमने ये प्रूव नहीं किया है कि बीटा कैप इज एक्चुअली मिनिमाइजिंग द रेसिडुअल सम ऑफ स्क्वायर. We have just obtained the beta cap is any particular solution of that normal equation x dash y is equal to x dash x beta cap. Now we wish to actually show that the beta cap is actually minimize the sum of square due to elements of E. So how to prove that? So what happens? We will take any other solution of the equation x dash y x dash x beta cap. To prove this, आर्बिटरी कोई भी एक सॉल्यूशन ले लो बीटा कैप के अलावा, एंड इफ वी प्रूव दैट कि बीटा कैप द सम ऑफ स्क्वायर ड्यू टू रेसिड्यूल्स ड्यू टू बीटा कैप एंड सम ऑफ स्क्वायर ड्यू टू रेसिड्यूल्स ड्यू टू बीटा जीरो। ओके, तो उन दोनों में से अगर एसएससी किसका छोटा है, then we say that that solution actually minimized. To prove this, let us consider any solution, any other solution of any other solution of E dash E, say beta 0, then any other solution of beta, solution of beta E dash E की जगह पे beta, say beta 0, then y minus x beta 0 transpose. तो ई डे सी में बीटा का सोल्यूशन क्या है? विल सब्स्टिट्यूट दिस। नाउ व्हाट हैपन, कैन वी राइट this as a y minus, just subtract the x beta cap and add the x beta cap, x beta 0. So what I have done, just I have subtract and add the x beta cap, so again I will get the same quantity. This is transpose here. I will do the same here. So subtract and add x beta cap, लिख सकते हैं। This is y minus x beta cap transpose. This multiply with this, and then this multiply with this, and this multiply with this. So y minus x beta transpose, this is a y minus x beta cap. Then this multiply with this, so this sign, this the sign is plus y minus x beta cap transpose, and this is a x beta cap minus x beta naught. Okay, here plus x beta cap minus x beta naught transpose into y minus x beta cap plus x beta cap minus x beta naught transpose into x beta cap minus x beta naught. Can we write this? Because you can see that how many there are, each having a two elements, a plus b into a minus b, sorry, a plus b into a plus b. So you can multiply this into this into this multiply with this, and this multiply with this, so you will get the four terms, each having a two term. लिख सकते हैं ना? So you can write this as a, if you write this form, so this is nothing but your SSE. बीटा के अब आपने सॉल्यूशन लिया है, तो इट इज कॉल्ड दी सम ऑफ स्क्वायर ड्यू टू रेसिडुअल एसएससी. नाउ व्हाट हैपन, यू टेक दिस x इनसाइड, यहां बाहर निकालोगे तो क्या होगा, x बाहर आगे निकलेगा, लेकिन आप अंदर ले जाएंगे तो क्या है, ट्रांसपोज है. ठीक है, तो क्या आएगा, वो आगे मल्टीप्लाई होगा, तो यू कैन राइट इट एज एक्स ट्रांसपोज वाई माइनस एक्स ट्रांसपोज एक्स बीटा कैप दैट ट्रांसपोज बीटा कैप माइनस बीटा जीरो। सिमिलरली यहाँ पे x बाहर निकालेंगे तो कहाँ जाएगा, x ट्रांसपोज, लेकिन किस साइड निकलेगा, पीछे की साइड पे, तो आपको क्या मिलेगा, दिस इज ए बीटा कैप माइनस बीटा जीरो ट्रांसपोज, एक्स ट्रांसपोज बाहर निकला तो आगे मल्टीप्लाई हो जाएगा इसमें, एक्स ट्रांसपोज वाई माइनस एक्स ट्रांसपोज एक्स बीटा कैप। और यहाँ पे क्या होगा, विल टेक द एक्स आउटसाइड, तो इट इज ए बीटा कैप माइनस बीटा नॉट ट्रांसपोज एक्स ट्रांसपोज एक्स बीटा कैप माइनस बीटा नॉट। ओके, क्योंकि एक्स यहाँ से बाहर निकलेगा, एक्स यहाँ से निकला तो ट्रांसपोज, तो इट इज ए दिस। नाउ व्हाट इज दिस, एक्स ट्रांसपोज वाई माइनस एक्स ट्रांसपोज बीटा कैप, कहीं हमने देखा है, तो इक्वेशन 2.4 नॉर्मल इक्वेशन, तो ये क्या हो गया है, जीरो। सिमिलरली यहाँ पे दिस क्वांटिटी इज ऑल्सो जीरो, तो दैट मीन्स कितनी क्वांटिटी बची, एस एस ई प्लस बीटा कैप माइनस बीटा नॉट transpose x dash x beta cap minus beta. So that means we will get, because x transpose y is equal to x transpose x beta cap, we have y minus x beta 0 transpose y minus x beta 0 is equal to SSE plus beta cap minus beta 0 transpose x beta cap minus beta 0. So we call them as a SSE. If I am saying this as a M, तो ये क्या होगा, M transpose into M, where I have not used the notation M into X beta cap minus beta 0, because I said that it is a linear combination of columns of X, so it is also getting the column. But M transpose M is a quadratic form, we know that M transpose M is always greater than or equal to 0, therefore SSE, अगर ये greater than 0 है, इसका मतलब this quantity is a sum of this quantity, it means this quantity is smaller than this, so SSE is less than or equal to y minus x beta 0 transpose y minus x beta 0. It suggests that beta cap is actually minimize E dash E, and it is a least square estimate of beta. Okay, up to anyone, any questions?
No, sir.
So we have the normal equation. We say that the beta cap is actually a least square estimate of beta. So now the thing is that we wish to find out the estimated value. हमने जो सिर्फ नॉर्मल इक्वेशन में बीटा कैप है वो लिखा है, it is nothing but the least square estimate. Now we wish to find out the solution. For that we require rank of x dash x. If the model is full rank, full rank, it means rank of x is nothing but rank of x dash x and is nothing but p, क्योंकि r इक्वल टू आपका क्या हो जाएगा p. ओके, इफ इट इज ए फुल रैंक तो x dash x का ऑर्डर क्या होगा? व्हाट इज द ऑर्डर ऑफ x dash x? x का ऑर्डर क्या है? n क्रॉस p. x dash का क्या होगा? p क्रॉस n. तो x dash x का क्या होता है? p क्रॉस p. So it is a full rank matrix. Okay. So if it is a rank of x dash x is p, therefore x dash x inverse exists. Therefore, we have a x dash y is equal to x dash x beta cap, and if we pre-multiply both the sides by x dash x inverse, so this is the identity. Therefore, beta cap is nothing but x dash x inverse x dash y. So this is your equation number 2.9. So this beta cap gives in equation 2.9 is an ordinary, because least square method, ordinary least square method भी कहते हैं, ordinary least square OLS, estimate of beta. Okay, so now we wish to find out its mean. We know that expectation of epsilon is equal to 0, which implies expectation of y. What is expectation of y? It is expectation of x beta plus epsilon. So that means it is a x beta is a constant and that expectation of epsilon. So it is a x beta. Why? Because expectation of epsilon is 0. Okay. So therefore expectation of beta cap क्या है? It is a x transpose x inverse x transpose y. तो x transpose x inverse x transpose x it is a constant, तो उसको बाहर ले लेते हैं और expectation of y. But what is the expectation of y? It is a x beta तो ये क्या होगा? आइडेंटिटी. So this is a beta. Therefore, beta cap be an unbiased estimator of beta. तो beta cap क्या है? It is an unbiased estimator of a beta. What is the variance? Variance of beta cap is equal to variance of x transpose x inverse x transpose y. If I am saying this as a AY, where A equal to x transpose x inverse x transpose. So what is the variance? It is a variance of y A transpose. But what is the variance of y? It is the variance of x beta plus epsilon. But x beta is a constant, so it is a variance of E epsilon. और variance of epsilon क्या है? It is a sigma square IN. So it is a sigma square in A transpose. So sigma square is outside. It is A transpose. So what is sigma A? A is a X transpose X inverse X transpose. और A transpose है तो इसका inverse transpose लेना है ना, this quantity का transpose. So of course हम जानते A into B transpose is nothing but B transpose A transpose. This is X transpose X inverse X transpose. इसका transpose लेंगे तो ये क्या हो गया, X आगे आ गया, और because X transpose X is a symmetric matrix तो उसका inverse भी क्या होगा, symmetric ही होगा. So this is nothing but identity, so it is a sigma square X dash X inverse. So this is nothing but variance of beta cap. Okay. So beta cap is unbiased for beta and its variance is given by the sigma square X dash X inverse. Okay. Any questions up to this? Any questions?
Sir.
हाँ बोलिए.
नहीं है सर कोई क्वेश्चन.
अच्छा, good.